Hi there, welcome friends, welcome to Homekeepers. How are things going for you today? I hope really good. We're glad to have you with us. And is this the first time you've watched the program? If so, I want you to know you're welcome, and please don't let it be the last time, okay? I have a return guest today because he comes every month. And I believe that we are honored and that the Lord has given us favor that we can bring to you Dr. David Clarke each month. He's a Christian psychologist, and I have no doubt that some of the things he said have maybe changed some of your marriages and your parenting skills. And I've always believed that sometimes when you get in trouble, you don't know which way to go, that one sentence, one word from you know, an expert like Dr. Clarke can really open up your mind to possibilities to make things better. And that's why I'm so thankful to have him on the program. Today we're going to talk about parenting, and you really will want to hear this. If you haven't heard Dr. Clarke before, please notice that when he is with me, that website will come up on the screen. Some of you have contacted him personally, and I certainly recommend him to any pastor out there. It's a good idea to have these specialists come into your church and address your people. It really does make the church better. And I'm going to join Stephanie. We're going to make Monterey Spaghetti. Why they named it that, I have no idea. But I do know that spaghetti can be made so many different ways, and how it really can stretch the meat and all kinds of things. Whoever thought of it, God bless them. We'll fix that up for you after I remind you that we are viewer supported. Thank you for every dime, every penny you send to us. It's the way we stay on the air. And I really believe that the Lord prompts a lot of people out there to give to a program that really emphasizes the home. And I hope that you'll follow through with that prompting. That information is on your screen. You can use the 800 number for your debit card or your credit card, and you can write to us at Box 6922, Clearwater, Florida, 33758. And we thank you so much. We certainly do appreciate it more than you know. How are you today, Stephanie?
I'm good. How are you
doing? Looking good. You got
got
your green that
yes
matches the necklace perfectly.
Thank you.
She's always perfectly put together.
Not always.
All right. What do we do?
So why is it called Monterey? Because it has Monterey Jack cheese in it.
Oh.
There you go.
That makes sense.
Okay, so we have spaghetti. We have 4 ounces of spaghetti cut in 2 inches and cooked, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I have an egg. I have a cup of sour cream. I have a 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese, a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. I have 2 cups of Monterey Jack cheese, a package of frozen spinach that's thawed and drained, and a can of French fried onions. Which I always relate to green bean casserole. So I say it's a little redneck.
I love a good green bean casserole.
Oh yeah, me too. I had never had green bean casserole until I met my husband.
Oh really?
And when they first made it, I was like, I
don't
know
about
if
this.
I want to try it, and now I love it.
Well, I never heard or seen
Cup of sour cream.
Fried okra till I married my husband.
Oh really?
And now, you know, it's for us, it's a tradition on Thanksgiving. Now, my kids don't like it, but my in-law children do. And I have the best in-law children in the whole wide world. So I fix...
She's always bragging on them.
Yes, absolutely. Well, my daughter-in-law gave my son a kidney. That's, you know, you could love a person
I don't
for
know
that.
if you can beat that.
No, you can't beat. Did I ever tell you, Mike was so sick. But that kidney of hers, you watched him come back to life. You watched the color.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. The creatinine count, that's the poison in your kidneys, you know, was leaving. And so he was feeling great. Well, that surgery is far more intrusive on the donor. So the doctor said you don't do anything for 6 weeks. And he got home and he was just dying to get to the church because he just...
Well, yeah.
Oh, he was feeling so good. And you know what she said? You're not going over there with my kidney. How would you have better leverage than that in a relationship?
You have my kidney, I'm the boss. I like it. That's the spinach.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to put the cheese in here. And we're going to put the spaghetti in here. And I'm going to do my best to mix this all up.
Are you going to put your hands in it?
I am not.
Yeah, it's a little
There you
messy
go.
for that. Yep.
And then you mix it all together. So that was just basically all of the ingredients all mixed together. We're going to put half of the can of French fried onions in
Yeah,
here.
and I think we probably should have started out with a bigger bowl.
Well, you know, you live and you learn.
Yeah.
This is a nice small bowl.
You know, this would be a good one to take to your church supper.
Oh yeah, for sure. So and everyone will ask for the recipe.
Yeah, because
so be prepared. Just have it already printed out and pass them out.
that's a good idea.
Yes.
Because if you take something that's baked, that really gives you a little time.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we mix this because the spinach.
It's a little dry. Yeah. So then you bake it for 30 minutes at 350, and then you're going to bring it back out. You're going to put the rest of the French fried onions, and then you're going to bake it for 5 more minutes. That's it. Super simple. And
This is a good one for vegetarians too.
Yeah, Susan already said that she'll be eating this whole thing right here, so don't anybody take
Well,
any.
Susan can have it because she does a lot around here
Yeah.
and should be rewarded. So that's
Oh my gosh, is that hot?
Oh.
Be careful. You all right?
that's
Okay.
really nice. You could always take this out.
Oh, look at that.
You know, in a square.
Yeah.
It was kind of.
And because I have no willpower after one bite, I'm not even trying it. It's all on you.
She's on a strike from trying food out. So
Because I know myself. I know if one bite of this will lead to one small
my.
plate, which will lead to one
It
small
would.
bowl. I know.
it would.
So I'm trying so hard to be good.
I don't think you've ever tasted anything like this.
You want this
It
one.
is delicious, and it's called Monterey Spaghetti. The recipe is absolutely free, and that information will be coming up on your screen. And I can't tell you how much I recommend this. It is absolutely delicious. So take note of the recipe, and right after that, if you haven't met him before, you will meet Dr. David Clarke. To know him is to love him, right?
Yes.
Okay, stay with us. We'll be right back.
If you would like a copy of today's recipe, you may receive it by contacting us through social media as listed on the screen. When requesting a copy through the mail, be sure to include a self-addressed stamped envelope. Thank you, and please know we always appreciate hearing from our viewers.
This is the day. Dr. Clarke's back.
Glad to be here.
It's always a good day when you come.
Well, thanks.
And I always learn a lot. I like to be kind of a student of human nature, and there's plenty to study today.
Boy, there sure is.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about your parenting book, but before that, there's something going on in our culture now that I think is quite significant, and that is finally somebody's put a spotlight on really, I would call it sexual assault in many ways. And it's pretty serious. Some of the stories that have come out, and a lot of them are corroborated, and thank God, because no man has any right to assault a woman.
That's for sure.
In any way. So now we're all talking about it.
Yeah, these dirtballs have been doing this forever, of course, for all of time, but these Hollywood types, and it's disgraceful that people knew about it, other men in positions of power, and did nothing. Oh, so it's a good thing, because, you know, enough is enough. It's been awful.
And some of the stories are just disgusting.
Well, they are.
But I see where it could, I don't know if backfire is a good word or something, but it could evolve to something where it's a he said, she said, and the guy's innocent. What about those college students at Duke several years ago?
Right.
Yeah.
Those cases are there too. That's why you got to be very careful. The rush to judgment, you need to be careful. If it's true, and if it's, of course, if it's verified by 5 or 6 other credible,
Of course.
okay, fine. But we want to be careful. Well, the whole area of, and this, again, if you are going to church and you're traveling in the right circles, you're going to have probably quality men that would be attracted to you. But no is always no. I don't want to date you. That's it. or we're dating and one kiss is enough, that's it. Or if you want more, no needs to be no. These guys won't take no for an answer.
And they actually do get into that area that is an outright assault.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them, and some of them, these people, you know, a couple of, or three that I can think of, well-known newscasters through the years.
Right.
It was just a pattern, and the poor gal, back then, if she blew the whistle, she had no future.
No, she was a liar and a slut, and you're fired. Yeah, in that order probably. Yeah, that's just disgraceful. These guys, and they probably, none of them will go to prison. They should be rotting in jail. It is sexual assault. Non-consensual, it means sexual assault.
And I know the answer. You respect
Castration.
one another.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Maybe that too.
You respect one another.
Of course. And of course, these guys are married. You know, many of them in quotes. What a joke. The wives should be outraged and do something as well. Come on.
It's such a part of our culture right now, though.
Yeah.
I've often thought if I could call my dad back from heaven or my husband, they've been gone a long time, they would never recognize this place.
Oh.
They would never recognize Earth, that we actually have a culture that supports Jerry Springer.
Right. Enthusiastically. It's funny.
Yeah.
There's nothing funny about it.
It's not funny.
It's nasty, it's perverted, and it's just, it's embarrassing. But people have no shame these days. Oh my goodness, it's true.
Well, so do you agree that it's a good thing that it's been shown now? What do we do about it?
I've dealt with a number of ladies who, in secret, of course, it's private in my therapy office, it's in the vault, but they'd been through similar things and didn't speak out and couldn't speak out and were threatened by other men, either as little girls or teenagers or as grown women. And if I'm supporting my family as a woman and that's going to cost me my job, what do I do?
Your livelihood.
And that's exactly what happens. They're dismissed and nobody listens to her. So yeah, that's changing and it's about time.
That's a good thing. All right. A couple months ago when you were here, we talked about all your books.
Yeah.
And it was an impressive sight. I'm not kidding. That's a pile of work there. And I presented them to you in alphabetical order. This was the last one because W.
Well, W, right.
Winning the Parenting War. So what are the boundaries of the war, and did it start very young or the infamous teenage years?
It starts right away. And and then you're at war. Of course, you're at war against your child because they want their way. They have the sin nature until they know Jesus, and then even afterwards. But that helps coming to Jesus. You're at a war with culture, certainly, which means Satan. He wants to destroy your kid, draw them away, and he's getting better and better. He has free reign. Used to be some constraints in our society. Those are gone, virtually gone, and the church is being devalued as well. We get more attention to the Scientologists, who are whack jobs, than we get to the legitimate church. Anyway, but people think, well, all churches are that way. They just want your money. That's not true.
That's not true.
Then you're in a war with your own spouse because we have different parenting styles. Sandy grew up much different than I did.
What was that like?
Oh man, that was rough. What saved us was she was a stay-at-home mom. And so she pretty much, I delegated, I wised up and said, she knows, she carried these kids, number one. I saw them born, and it really hurt. So, and I thought, I need to give her some treatment here. What do I know about kids? She instinctively knew more about them. She was with them all day long. So I thought, you know what? No, unless I have some tremendous reason why not, Sandy, she will carry the day. And of course, she was right almost every time. Now, she would come to me sometimes and go, David, Leanne or Emily or Leanne, William, there's an issue here. It's happened the last day or so, and you need to talk to them. And so so I would get my instructions, and then I would go to them. And so I think we were a great team.
Okay, what if you have a toddler who throws a tantrum? I've often thought, my kids never did tantrums.
Ours didn't do too much of that. Yeah.
But I thought if I had a 3-year-old, 4-year-old on the floor in the grocery store, I just let them do it. I'd stand there and watch them and say, come on in, folks. We've got a little show going on here.
That's it. Let's see how long you can go, Billy. Let's go for the record. That's exactly right. Because they're doing it for attention. You don't go around the other aisle, leave them in sight, but you might go 20 yards away and shop that aisle. But yeah, if they don't get the reinforcement, they'll quit. That's human nature.
Yeah, but boy, mothers are pretty soft inside.
And you're embarrassed, you know. And there's always some people that are looking at you like you're the worst parent in the world.
And it's the best parent in the world that'll let them do it.
Exactly.
Right?
You step over them and you go about your way. It's called extinguishing.
I know. And then the kid gets embarrassed. I've seen that happen.
Yeah, that's a thing of beauty.
Yes.
This isn't working.
Yeah.
They're laughing at me, or it's kind of embarrassing. Yeah, it should be.
Which basically is small potatoes till you get into those teenage years. Those can be.
Oh, right. That's why if you allow the tantrum and you give them what they want in the younger years, oh, now you're in trouble once they get to 10, 11, 12. An out of control kid without a broken will, you're in trouble. You don't break the spirit, but you've got to break the will of every kid born. Got to, or they'll break you. And now we see these sitcoms on TV. The kids are smarter than the parents, and they're brilliant, and they're sassy, and they get whatever they want. That's not how life works. You can't keep a job. When you work for the man, you have to do what the man says, and have self-control. They don't.
And I've often thought just looking at Scripture, and maybe you could even reinforce it somewhat on your experience, but the father is the most important.
Critical.
And so Satan, I used to tell women, you know, and I speak for a lot of women, that you're not the number one on devil's hit list. It's your husband.
Yep.
And if he can get him out of the way, then he's going to really have an effect on the kids. What do you see in the difference when there's no dad there?
Oh, it's just massive. We know from statistics that most of the men in prison, you know, didn't have a father. Or they did, obviously, but he was gone. So we know that's true. You don't get any modeling. And plus, moms are sensitive, and even if they're tough, the single mom job is brutally difficult. And so if dad's not around, you can get away with more with your mom than you ever could with your dad. And you don't learn, and even little girls need a dad to know how to be treated by a man. You don't get that. You're going to be used and abused by men because you don't know any better. So it's a critical role, and a lot of men are just abdicating.
But don't you love the stories of those single moms who really did it?
Yeah, I admire them. Wow.
I remember there was, I think it was like a football Hall of Fame or something, and this gentleman was being inducted. He's a great big football player, and it's African American, and his mom had raised him. And I'll never forget, he literally began to weep, and he looked at his mom and he said, "Thank you. You kept us off the streets. You kept us in school." It was just boom, 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 boom.
Oh man, that's strong.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, that's a very impressive person, probably done with the Lord's help. And that's the good news. If the man leaves you or abdicates, isn't going to step up, you can still get the job done. Harder. But
it's
boy,
harder, but
yeah.
and she has to be very determined,
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
I had Bill Wilson on here not too long ago. He has this big ministry in New York, Bedford-Stuyvesant, one of the worst neighborhoods. And I asked him, I said, what's the percentage of kids, you know, in your ministry where there's a father in the home? And he said, I don't have the latest statistics, but I would assume a third of the whole thing.
Yeah.
And he said, that's why when we get a boy in our ministry, he said, probably shouldn't tell this because the authorities will be out, but we really try to rough him up. And, you know, we get the staff in, they throw him up in the air and they play with them and everything they've never had with a dad.
Well, yeah, that roughhousing. William and I would wrestle and play sports just hours at a time. And it was modeling. I was showing him that I loved him, but it was also toughening him up. Because as a man, you're responsible for the home biblically, and so you got to be tough. You can't be a snowflake when you're the guy.
Yeah.
You got to man up, get the job done.
Isn't that where a church could step in?
Yes.
If they would make it aware to godly men, say we've got these single moms here that are struggling.
Right. I believe it's one of
Match 'em
the key
up.
things. I try to get the single moms that I see into a church and get them to come alongside. And there are men that will do that. I have my own kid, but they're maybe older men or college age. You can get the job done. It can make all the difference. Society can't provide that. And it wouldn't be biblical anyway.
Yeah, you know, Dr. Clarke, if you're a new viewer, Dr. Clarke's on with us every month, and we have his website up. And he has a private practice in Tampa, and I think you do telephone too.
I do.
As a therapist, but also many weeks ago we kind of showcased the 11 books he's written. And so you can find his books on that website. And also, I think that a good marriage seminar would be good for any church.
It would be, especially one by me, of course.
Of course, but you know, when you're in a group like that, and there's a lot of other married couples, it's kind of a comfort zone.
It is.
Well, you're not sitting there by yourself in front of you,
Right.
but
When I do a live seminar, which I think is better than tape, you know, there's a lot of interaction. They have them at tables especially, and there are breaks they can talk, but the vibe is we're all in this together. And the reaction of the crowd will tell you that. You know, things I say or jokes I tell that are real. People, it's like, okay, it's a relief. We're all struggling here. Marriage is hard for all of us. Yeah.
yeah, and there's a lot of humor because, let's face it, marriage is pretty funny.
It is. Better laugh or you'll go crazy.
Now, how do you deal? Do you deal with people as parents? Because most of yours is marriage and maybe premarital. What about the parenting end of it?
Yeah, I won't see the kids because I don't do kids. So after I had my 4 kids, I had enough, frankly. It's over. So I used to see teens. For years I saw teens. But now I deal with the parents, and they're the key anyway. I mean, the kid's acting out because of them most of the time. So I'll see a mom and a dad, and we'll do some basic parenting. Never have to see the kid. And so, yeah, that can be enough to turn the ship. Often they're fighting, and they're not agreeing on the plan. And so that's causing a problem. Or the marriage is in distress, and so they're abdicating their parental responsibilities. They don't have the energy, and the kid's kind of on their own. So you can do a lot with just 2 parents or 1 parent.
And isn't it true that you can have a couple do a good job? Nobody's perfect. Do a good job. You even keep them in church and all those good things, and the kid still goes off to the pig pen.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens, yes. And they shouldn't beat themselves up over it.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen some godly parents. I know they did the best they could. The other kids in their family are fine. Well, what happened to this one? Well, I said choices. He or she is making choices. You do your best. But yeah, as parents, we think, what did I do wrong? It's the first thing you think, and it's not always true. It's not.
Yeah, I used to tell audiences, when you were born, you popped out of your mother's womb, God was standing there, and he handed you a free will.
Yep.
And he doesn't tamper with it that much.
True. He lets us do what we're going to do, right? We're not robots. That's why faith is so important. When you make the choice with his help to make the right choices, stop doing the sin, start doing the right thing, he'll honor that. But yeah, it's up to you.
Also, that wonderful story in the Bible of the prodigal.
Yeah. We had a great sermon on that at our church just Sunday, just 2 days ago. And wow, it was great. It's so rich. Because that dad, and it was extraordinary, I guess, in those times. Normally you wait until you're dead before you get the inheritance. Anyway.
Yeah, I want my money now.
And this was the younger child anyway. So yeah, to do that was extraordinary, but the dad let him go. Do what you're going to do. But when he turned and he knew that there was repentance, he came running out. Oh, it's a great story.
There's nothing, when you get to my age, nothing like long-time friends.
Yeah.
I think the older you get, the harder it is to have close friends, and all, but those that you got some history with. And I had a good friend, and her husband, they're missionaries, wonderful people. They had a prodigal that just gave new meaning to the word.
Yeah.
I remember standing with them in a service once, and people were praying, and they were just weeping.
Oh,
this is years ago, decades ago. Yeah. But the kid came back to the Lord.
Did he?
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's doing great.
Oh, praise God.
And his mom died, and I was at the funeral, of course, because we were practically relatives. And he stood up and he said, I was a prodigal, but now I'm a pilgrim.
Oh, man, that's great.
Yeah, and think of our viewers out there that are hurting over those prodigals.
Boy,
but they can become pilgrims.
They can, and you never give up hope. You live and die with your kids. You absolutely do. And you never give up hope. Power of prayer is strong, and they could very well come back. It just takes a while sometimes.
Yeah, but that's an encouraging note for us to sign off until you come back next month.
I'm coming back if you'll have me.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's very possible that you got a pilgrim coming home. Stay with me. I have a couple things to say before we have to say goodbye.
Arthelene would like you to keep the following information handy. You may contact Homekeepers by writing to Homekeepers, P.O. Box 6922, Clearwater, Florida 33758, or go to www.rippy.org. Remember, we always enjoy hearing from our viewers, and we thank you for your support.
Okay, let me remind you, we are viewer supported. We're going to put that information on the screen. If you'd like to use your credit card or debit card, use that 800 number or write to us at Box 6922, Clearwater, Florida 33758. Your gifts are so appreciated, you will never know, because I do not have the capability of telling you how much we appreciate you, but thank you so much. I was thinking as Dr. Clarke was talking about parenting, I once wrote, when I had to settle down with 2 children because my husband was on the evangelistic field, I once wrote a letter of admiration to Mrs. Billy Graham, Ruth Bell Graham. And I said, I've looked at your life and I've decided if you can stay home with 5 children, I can stay home with 2. And she wrote me the most beautiful letter, handwritten, a real treasure. And she said, you can do it. And she gave me the name of a couple of parenting books, but she said, there's nothing like the Bible to tell you how to raise children. And it's absolute truth. Nothing can compare to the Word of God that has stood the test of times for hundreds and hundreds of years. And if you raise them up in the fear and the admonition of the Lord, and if you raise them up right, they might take a wrong turn, but the Bible said they will come back. So I don't think there's anything more important in life than really raising our children. And so it's a good idea to know what this says, and it's a good idea to know what a Christian psychologist says. And we are very, very honored to have Dr. Clarke on here once a month to talk about these personal relationships that are so important. When it's all said and done, those are the most important things we deal with down here on earth. As one pastor said, I've never read anybody's bank statement at the funeral, never talked about any great and mighty things, but most people, when it gets right down to it, it's their family. That's what we're all about. I think that's what you're about too. Join me next time, friends, remembering there's no higher calling than that of a homekeeper. God bless you.
If you should miss a Homekeepers program, you can catch up by going to www.ctnonline.com. Click on CTN Programs and then on Homekeepers.